Peace, it's your boy back at it again. So check this out. Recently, I was asked on how I became a personal trainer and what got me into fitness. That was a very good question, so I'm gonna share that story with you guys. So I've always been into fitness because I've always been playing sports, but particularly basketball. So one of the things that you have to do outside of practicing your skills, whether it's dribbling, shooting, passing, defensive slides, you have to be stronger, and that's one of the key things on every level is really strength and speed for those who want to get to that next level, right? But nevertheless, I was, playing basketball, always doing push-ups, calisthenics, and then after when I got into like my late teens, early 20s, I was just focusing more on working out. But I never used to do weights as much. You always hear the stigma too about how weights stunt your growth. So I never used to do weights because in my mind I was trying to be 6'6" because my favorite basketball player is Michael Jordan. So I was pushing, hopefully I could get to at least 6 feet, you know what I mean? But that never happened. I'm about 5'10", give or take 6 feet, on paper. Right. But anyways, I got into the fitness from that age, going to the parks, working out. Then as time go on, you learn to hone your craft and you get better at working out. But one thing I always noticed, no matter where I was, people always came up to me and asked me to help them with this exercise. I don't know if I had wanted or I will help you or written on my forehead, but no matter if I was in the gym or in the park, hey, can you show me how to do this? At the time, I thought I was brolic. Maybe it was my physique, but looking back, I was a small fry. Like, you know, needless to say, I would help them. So I would work. So fast forward, still working out because it's part of my lifestyle. I was working in a hospital for over 15 years, just about, right? But I got over 20 years of medical experience. I would come across people here and there. You know how it goes. With life and death kind of situation, people not taking care of their health, particularly in our demographic. Uh, so that lit off a light bulb in me. But I never used to want to be a personal trainer as yet. I just thought it was too much because I never really looked into it. Later on, right before COVID, around 2019, 2020, right? I think COVID was 21? But around that, a little bit before that, I was in the park one day. And this is one day I was like, man, I really don't really feel like talking to anybody. The park was empty. Let me just do my workout and get up out of here. I saw a gentleman coming from afar. I'm like, oh boy, it's just me and him. He gonna want to talk. I don't want to hear it. I was like, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Let me just do my thing. But guess what? That's probably one of the most life-changing conversations I had. Shout out to him wherever he is. I think his name is Anthony because I was in New Jersey at the time. I was living in New Jersey and I was in the park out there. I think his name was Anthony. And we end up talking while we are working out, and he was telling me about his life experiences. And then he dropped the seat on me. He's like, Tristan, why don't you become a personal trainer? He's like, yeah, man, you can get 3 women right here, $25 each. That's $75 easily. You know what I'm saying? He said, yo, you'll be good at it. I'm like, what makes him say that? But I kept going the conversation. I was like, all right, cool. That's nothing bad. And two, I needed supplemented income because I was getting overtime at my job too, but I wanted to do something else. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, because at the time when I was working at the hospital, the overtime was inconsistent. Somebody would call me, Tris, can you come in? Or if I was scheduled, they don't need it. Because, like any other business, it has ebbs and flows. So sometimes it's slow during a certain time and it'll cut my overtime. So I was like, all right, cool. Maybe a little supplement. I don't have to rely on it. Supplement income, doing something that I like anyway, training, I can do that. So after that conversation, I was like, you know what, man? Thanks. We shared some other things too. You know what I mean? That was very beneficial and helpful to me, even to this day. So after that, I went home. I said, let me consider this for real. So I went home, did the research on it. I was like, you know what? What do I got to lose? Let me make that investment in myself. And it's one of the best investments that I've made. Because by becoming a personal trainer, right? I did online. Then COVID hit and everything like that. But before I touch into that, by making that investment, I learned the proper way how to train people. Because the mistakes some of us make, just a side note, we try to train people the way we trained ourselves, or we have history playing sports. We think we can still train the same way that we did when we were 16, 20, and we're 40 plus. Or we try to train somebody with that same type of intensity, and it also gave me the wherewithal to meet people where they are. You see what I'm saying? So those things I'm grateful for in those steps and that kind of knowledge base that I've gained. You know what I mean? And how to program certain exercises as, trial and error as well. With the empirical data, you get the experience too, because you experiment on yourself first and then you take it to others. So after I became a personal trainer, it was during COVID, right? I think I got it a little bit after COVID, around that time. Yeah, like 2021, I actually got certified. But during COVID, because like I said, I was an essential worker during that time, uh, the light bulb came on to me because in our demographics in particular, in the way how the news was portraying us, it's really an epidemic going on, right? With the black community, maybe probably pandemic, but epidemic I think is national, right? Yeah. But anyway, you get my drift. It was bad. A lot of us was overweight. A lot of people that were dying, past medical history with diabetes, either hypertension, some type of life-threatening disease that we may have overlooked, that also aided in the demise or the mortality rate when it came to COVID-19, right? Because it's just a virus. Not saying it's lightweight. It's like to me, it was like steroids on the flu on steroids. You see what I'm saying? So we knew how to properly uh, took the proper health channels or protocols, I think we could have saved a lot of people. That's just my personal opinion. So this will make me go into personal training even harder. Like, okay, this may be a calling for me. I can play my part and help people in that field. So although I was in the medical field, I still consider myself in the medical field. Although I was in the medical field, I'm still in the medical field, but I call personal training pre-medicine health. You know, because we try to prevent certain things to happen. So it's preventive medicine care. So after that, then, I said, let me go full time with being a personal trainer. We did that. And here I am today, starting my own business and really trying to transforming people's lives, no matter what age group, from young to old, big or small, man or woman, you know? So that's where I'm at now. And this is why I came. And this is one of the best decisions I've made too, because I've made a lot of friends in this space. I'm learning a lot more about myself too as well, and transferring my knowledge into helping other people. Because many people that come back, yo, Tris, you helped me get off my medication. Just do proper training, just little tweaks. It was from dieting, making them move more, things of that nature. And people now that I've trained and they've moved on, and they are proud of the foundation that we've built. So now whenever they go in any space, they're confident. But it's just not a expression through working out. We take those same principles and we apply it to life. So you're not just comfortable within the gym space, you're comfortable in life. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's work, being a better husband, better wife, better business partner, all these principles that we teach is transferable. So I like to call them transferable skills into that. So that's how I became a personal trainer. And it's something that I'll in the future definitely expand on and continue with my business to grow. So that's my backdrop. And if you're looking for personal training, there's a link in the bio, that in the description. Click it and let's see if we can work together and can help transform your life as well. So we have a saying from lead to gold, because that's where the alchemy comes into part. If you know about the philosopher's stones, anything with alchemy, it's the science of taking base metals and transferring it into the highest of form. So we transfer you from where you are now into your best self. And gold is one of the best conduit of electricity, since we are electrical beings. So then you start to shine, get that dross off of you, and you can shine in front of the world. So that's basically the story of how I became a personal trainer. If you want me to be a personal trainer, click the link and let's see if we can work together and help you. So thank you for lending me your ears. Alchemy Fitness signing off, where we transfer you from lead to gold. Train hard, train smart, and train safe. Peace.